Welcome, Bandits fans. We are here at 2 o'clock start for what is game one of a doubleheader of this three-game series. Your Brisbane Bandits versus Team Australia 19U. I'm Paul Gonzalez, and I'm joined today by my partner in crime will be Donald Lutz. Lutzy, obviously, everybody knows, and long history, we'll get into that. But Lutzy, what a great day here at Vidicon Stadium. Got a chance to see game one. That line came up as Bandits 9, Team Australia 4. But the score really doesn't tell the whole story. Bandits only had 4 hits. Team Australia had 3 hits. But the real determining factor were the 11 walks by the youngsters. But it showed a bit of nerve, but at the same time, they showed a lot of composure at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. It's usually you can tell, obviously, when a lot of people have been in lockdowns, traveling. I know they just got in the day before, and then nerves can play a big role. Playing against the Bandits, representing Team Australia, I remember putting on, when you put on that uniform for your country, nerves can get a little crazy, but it was still a good day on the ballpark. At the end of the day, I think it was good. Everyone got their feet wet, and today should be much better.
No, I agree, and I think you just hit on a key point. We had team captain Tim Atherton up here yesterday, as well as CEO of Baseball Australia, Glenn Williams, and it's an honor to put on the green and gold. And these young men are doing what they have aspired to do, and that's represent their country. And when you look at the future of the game, a lot of these faces will hopefully be competing for Team Australia in the Olympics in 2028, which will be LA. But like I said, once again, a great turnout. We'll talk about the positive during the game, but we'll get ready for the first pitch. Leading off for Team Australia versus the arm on the mound for the Bandits will be Jeremy Atkinson. Jeremy, a 31-year-old local player, did play in the collegiate system, but now represents Pine Hills Baseball Club now. Ball hit high into left field. Doesn't look like it's going to have enough carry. That'll be a clean out for Sam Campion in left field for out number 1. Let's see, you've got a chance to face Atkinson. What does he feature on the mound as far as from a hitter's perspective?
Yeah, actually, I think I faced him last week, and obviously throughout the last few years. And he's that crafty guy who, he has good command to both sides of the plate. He throws about every pitch in the book.
Got a chance to see this young man in center field, and a highly touted prospect with the Pittsburgh Pirates organization, and obviously representing Team Australia today. This is Solomon McGuire.
Yeah, I feel like every time I face Jeremy, he's got a new pitch.
Yeah,
last week, all of a sudden, he busted out a little splitty, does a little cutter, a little two-seam, and, he just...
And that's the thing. It's an opportunity for these guys to see something different, and particularly for the young guys, is just seeing what a crafty veteran will do on the mound. Just different looks, and they'll have to obviously make adjustments against the crafty righty. Count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike with 1 out here in the first. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. That brings the count at 2-2. Got a chance to talk to Glenn Williams yesterday. He mentioned Solomon, and just to talk about the talent depth for Team Australia, particularly at the national level. You've got another talented center fielder and a former teammate. Ball hit hard to the right side of the infield. Good play by Dermot Fritz, and that'll be out number 2 on the slick fielding Fritz at second. We talked about just the talent depth in the outfield for Team Australia, and obviously you got a chance to play with him, and against him is a young man named Aaron Whitefield. And like I said, I think being on the field is one thing. We've had the chance of watching play, but just what he brings not only on the field but off the field as a leader.
Yeah, for sure. He's full of energy. Whitey, it's always fun to have him around. And
ball hit to the left side for foul 1. Bring to the plate will be Campbell to the plate. Campbell, another product that we got a chance to see, and I did mention him in the broadcast yesterday. Got a chance to watch him in the Little League Nationals in Lismore a few years back, and now get a chance to see him in the green and gold representing Team Australia.
Yeah, back to Whitey. I remember I had the pleasure to hit behind him.
Ball hit hard to third. Jacob Nielsen comes up, clean play for third, and that'll be the third out of the inning and a clean inning for Jeremy Atkinson. So after top of half inning of the first, we've got 0-0 ball game.
The Hino 300 series set the safety benchmark with Hino SmartSafe. Built for safety, ready for anything. That's another Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we speak your language.
Over the past 4 seasons, we've had new players, new rules, new stadiums and new teams. But one thing has stayed the same: Brett Sports, the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.
Welcome back to Vidicon Stadium, where your Brisbane Bandits are taking on Team Australia 19U. Last night we did talk about a quality game. Really, the really difference was not in the score as much as the walks and the opportunities. Bandits only mustered up 4 hits, but generated 9 runs. And Team Australia actually had 3 hits and able to generate 4 runs on the day. Today, starting lineup and batting lineup for your Brisbane Bandits will be Andrew Campbell, Dermot Fritz, Ryan Battaglia, Jacob Nielsen, Rory Splitter, Franco Natali, Jeremy Atkinson, Sam Campion, Liam O'Hare, and Jordan Thompson hitting in the 9 spot.
Soupy, a little fake bunt there.
Yeah, a little fake bunt. On the mound for Team Australia, we have a Queenslander as well. His name is Miller Bell. So Miller Bell has obviously come through Bandits Futures program, and it's great to see him get a chance to roll it over against the Bandits.
Yeah, he's another good young arm coming up. He should be good to watch. I know he's just coming back. I think he was shut down for a little bit. He had a little niggling stuff, but he's been working hard. He's a really dedicated kid. He ran both. He went through the BQ programs. He tried to get some work in with us, and when we're talking about dedication, he's a really hard worker. You know, he always shows up and works his butt off.
And as we talked about, is athletes that have aspirations of playing at higher levels, it's not always just the physical that you bring, but your obviously work ethics and how much you're willing to commit to try to get to the next level. Soupy's got a bit of a power shift today. Obviously Team Australia played the big shift on you as well. Looks like they're going to play the shift on Soupy, which now becomes pretty much common all through baseball from major leagues all the way down. We've seen it a lot through the ABL as well. Just ball away. That'll move the count to full. To acknowledge the grounds crew this morning again. An outstanding job for the grounds team. Came out early this morning, and the field is looking in immaculate condition as well. So thanks to the grounds team. Ball hit sharply to the shortstop who's playing in the shift. Comes up and makes a clean throw to first, and that'll be out number 1. So once again, comes in the shift plays to the advantage of Team Australia and able to get the big out on the hard hit ball up the middle.
Now batting third baseman number 32, Jacob Nielsen.
So my lineup is a little bit different on Game Changers. I do apologize. So hitting in the 2 spot will be Jacob Nielsen. Good pitch right there. And that's what you like to see from the young arm, is just how are they going to compete? Are they going to nibble, or are they going to actually challenge hitters in the zone? Looks like he's come out challenging hitters in the zone, and that really will help keep the pitch count down and keep these hitters on their toes.
For sure, yeah. Miller, like I said, he works hard. I think he's matured a lot too. He has a little better idea now how to really go about and attack hitters, and when to maybe pitch around a guy a little bit. And it's here we are, 0-2. Let's see what he's got.
Good pitch. Strikeout for number 3. So once again, we talk about just being aggressive in the strike zone, able to come out. It looks like an off speed. That's a Skyfleet Hino strikeout, but able to come in with his out pitch and really force the hitter to expand the strike zone. And that's exactly what they didn't do yesterday. I think a little bit of nerves. There was a lot of energy in the ballpark last night with a good turnout. Just seeing a different type of demeanor on the mound today. Once again, pounding the strike zone against another tough hitter in Dermot Fritz. Got a chance last year, and you and I have talked a little bit about this. Dermot came in really as the rookie in the league and really surprised the whole league. But one thing he's shown, and Atherton mentioned it yesterday, he's the major league killer. He just has the ability to barrel up the baseball and find the gaps and find the seams in the infield.
That's what he does well, obviously. Usually it's tough to find a young hitter with – not a young hitter, like he's I don't want to take anything away from him, but he has just the ability to get the barrel to the ball, where he understands there's no reason to try to do too much. He stays within himself. He gives us quality at bats every time, and that's what you're looking for, especially at a young guy. It's really good work.
That moves the count to 2 balls and 1 strike and 2 outs. Young Miller Bell is doing a fantastic job here, and once again, really the point of difference here, you can just see really confident on the mound and really pounding the strike zone. Pitch, good location, moves the count to 2-2 with 2 outs. But you're right, we've been fortunate enough to see, and I always look at year 2 in any players, once their name becomes known and all of a sudden they've got a book on you. And like you said, no, we're not disrespecting anybody saying a young hitter, but he wouldn't have more than 150, 200 bats maximum in the Australian Baseball League. So that is a short number of bats, considering in the minor league system you'd compile 500 in the season.
Mm-hmm. No, he's for me as a player, coach, whatever you want to call it, I really like watching his at bats because he's always competing.
Once again, another quality at bat by Dermot Fritz. He draws the walk. That's a 2 outs walk, and that will now bring to the plate another young hitter that a lot of promise in. You talk about, when you look at the physical makeup of this young player, this is Franklin Natali stepping to the plate. There's an opportunity for him to really blossom and look at what does his ceiling project at and get a chance to showcase, obviously, in front of David Nielsen this year, but also showcasing to Australia.
Yeah, same thing here.
Ball hit well in the center field, and it looks like that will fall in front of Solomon. That'll be a single. And once again, aggressive in the zone. Good job of hitting right there. Able to barrel the ball, drive it in center field, and now all of a sudden, Bandits have created an early threat with man on first and second and 2 outs. Once again, another young hitter at the plate. Local product at Windsor, Roy Splitter. And once again, you talk about, what's the succession plan for the Bandits? He's a guy that can play short, he can pitch, he can play second base, gives you some versatility, but once again, has the opportunity to showcase his talents at the next level.
Yeah, I actually spoke to him earlier, and I was like, I gave him props, and I was like, hey man, I really like the way you're approaching your at bats at the moment. And he's a really humble, quiet guy. He won't say much, but I really like how he's been swinging the bat. He's got a good feel for the strike zone. He knows what he likes to get at. He doesn't try to do too much, and he just shows up every day.
Rory has man on first and second, 2 outs here in the first inning. Ball just misses, 2-1. Now he moves into a hitter's count. And I'll mention we talk about this at a development level, and the difference between hitting counts and non-hitting counts, and we'll mention that today. And that's another thing I'll talk to you about. Just I also know you run and drive the academy program for the Bandits as well, and just the education of what you're teaching young athletes. The pitch up in the zone, that move the count to 2-2. When we mention hitting counts, it's about that education of a hitter understanding they're in a driver's seat as opposed to when they're in a 1-2 or an 0-2 count where they're more defensive.
For sure, I think that's something everyone has to learn a little bit. Obviously, then there's situations too you got to understand. As sometimes as a big left-handed hitter, if the first base is open, they might not come after you, but you always got to be ready for your pitch.
Ball hit deep into center field. That looks like it will be playable. Solomon's under it, and that'll be out number 3. So once a threat, no longer a threat. After one complete inning play, 0-0.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer.
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer.
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you, Archer.
Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
Welcome back, Bandits fans. We're here at Vidicon Stadium. This is game 1 of a doubleheader. Second game will be at 6 p.m. tonight. That will be a 6 p.m. start where Brisbane Bandits will showcase Team Australia captain and Bandits ace Timmy Atherton. At the plate for Team Australia is Jamie Fox. Score is currently 0-0, and we have Jeremy Atkins on the bump for the Bandits. To my left, my partner, Donald Lutz. Good pitch, good location. Let's see, I got a question for you. I mean, obviously, energy was a little bit different. You all of a sudden, we're normally playing, let's say, another ABL team, and there's a bit different team makeup internally, but there's also a different team makeup. As a veteran player and obviously representing Germany and seeing the development of this, what is a player's perspective feel of what that game meant?
I think whoever is a little more involved in baseball or has, like I said, it's always there's a certain amount of pride when you get to put on a jersey for your country. It's a big deal. You don't get to do that very often, and not a lot of people get to do it because obviously there's roster sizes and etc. So anytime you get to do that, man, it's a privilege. And I know the Bandits guys, they're excited too because obviously there's a lot of question marks with baseball this year in general. Are we going to play? Are we going to be able to do that? And anytime we can go out there, same thing for me still. If I get to put on the Bandits uniform, I carry it with pride. It's things I learned, you never take for granted.
No, I agree. And it's what's good to see. And I think that's one thing Atherton mentioned as well, just the pride, the athletes, it's a chance to start building that team unity and start to get that culture of what it means to represent. Pitch up in the zone, and that'll be a Skyfleet Hino strikeout for Atkinson and out number 1. But it's an opportunity to actually understand what it means to wear the green and gold. I had a chance to talk to longtime scout and Australian Hall of Famer Phil Dell. He's currently with the Kansas City Royals organization, but former Team Australia representative, and that's one thing he said. It's when you put on the green and gold, it just has a complete different feeling, and it's great that these young athletes are getting the chance to experience that in Australian soil as opposed to going to Korea and doing it for the first time.
Yeah, I guarantee you, any of these guys gets to represent the country on a bigger stage, somewhere in a big tournament, their nerves are going to be down just a little bit.
Ball hit sharply by Brad Griffin up the middle, knocked down by Dermot Fritz. Good recovery, and that'll be out number 2. So once again, a good recovery by Fritz, and just shows his versatility. I know he plays multiple positions. He does the little things well with the bat, but just those little things right there is what makes him valuable to the Bandits organization.
Nick Hawkins at the plate.
Good pitch, good location. Atkins looking sharp today. He's actually, once again, another pitcher pounding the strike zone. And I know watching a lot of games here, it's so important, particularly with the short porch. The last thing you want to do is fall behind the count or concede walks. This park can create a lot of offense.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not a pitcher, but I could tell you as a hitter, as soon as the pitcher gets that first strike on you, he's in the driver's seat. He can pretty much do whatever he wants from there. So he's doing a good job today attacking the zone early in the count.
And that's what's good for these young hitters to see too, is that your veteran guys really will do exactly what he did right there, and that's get ahead early, try to expand the zone, utilize his defense. Probably in his younger days, he's going to try to power the ball through the strike zone. But as they mature as pitchers, they start to become more creative and then get you to expand the strike zone with 2 strikes. Nick Hawkins once again sitting in a 1-ball, 2-strike count with 2 outs. Good pitch and a swing and a miss, and that'll be out number 3. But right before that's a Skyfleet Hino strikeout. That'll end the top of the first.
The Hino 300 series set the safety benchmark with Hino Smart Safe. Built for safety, ready for anything. That's another Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we speak your language.
Over the past 4 seasons, we've had new players, new rules, new stadiums and new teams. But one thing has stayed the same: Brett Sports, the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.
Welcome back to Vidicon Stadium, where we are game 1 of a doubleheader. Second game tonight will be 6 p.m. That'll be a 6 p.m. start. Gates will open up at 5 o'clock. If you're here for game 1, you will be able to sit and watch another game between the Brisbane Bandits and Team Australia. Stepping the plate for your Brisbane Bandits will be Sam Campion. Sammy, another product, a local product, and got a chance to see him come through the Bandits Futures program, and looks like he'll make his debut in this series tonight, and this will be his first at bat against at least a familiar face in Miller Bell.
Yeah, here's another young man.
First pitch, pops it up to third base side. Third baseman looks like he's going to get under it. That'll be out number 1. Once again, Miller Bell continues to really pepper the strike zone, really force the hitters swing at first pitch. Really keep his efficiency down and keep his pitch counts down as well. Another very dangerous hitter for the Bandits, and probably one of the veterans now of this ball club, and Ryan Battaglia. Got a chance to watch him several times, and you've been probably playing more than 10 years together, so great to see him still out there, still contributing now as a leader of this ball club.
Yeah, good old Buffy. Good man, always good, great teammate. Always like being around. I have the honor to be around him in club ball as well once in a while, and yeah, everyone loves him. You know, he's a great dude. I played against him in pro ball. I remember he threw me out once in spring training. He still lets me know about that one. I tested him one time, and he threw me out by like 5 feet. That was the last time I tested him. He's obviously got a good arm.
Ball hit softly into short right field. Second baseman calls and makes a good play. That'll be out number 2. Once again, Miller Bell continues to show his efficiencies against the Bandits lineup for a quick 1-2 out here in the second.
Liam O'Hare here.
Now batting for your Brisbane Bandits will be Liam O'Hare. So you'll have to give me a little bit of background, because I don't have a lot of history. So, and like, as I said, that's what's so great about these showcases, because it allows these athletes to get some exposure and really showcase their talents at the next level.
Yeah, I watched him take some swings in the cage. He's got a nice little short compact swing. Yeah.
Ooh, good pitch up in the zone. Bell showing a little bit of heat in the up zone. And once again, he's put himself in an 0-2 count. So when we talk about taking control of the strike zone, he's done a fantastic job up to these last 2 innings and really been extremely efficient with his pitch counts. Ball hit sharply to the left side. Backhand by the shortstop. Unable to come up with it. And O'Hare's able to beat that out. Probably be ruled as an error, but just put a little bit of pressure. Pitch was up in the zone, and usually an 0-2 count would be a waste pitch, but able to barrel it up and put a little bit of pressure on Team Australia. That'll bring to the plate Jordan Thompson, and we talk about Thompson pedigree. Got a chance to play with his dad, Tony Thompson, for a number of years with the Bandits organization, still involved as a coach within the Windsor Royals Baseball Club, Hall of Famer, and obviously get a chance to see him in the Bandits uniform. And got to be an honor. I know he did an interview this week and just talked about, people that would be proud of him situation. Obviously his dad came to mind only because he was able to wear the uniform, and now his son continues to carry that trend. Ooh, ball's hooked into the dugout.
Watch out. yeah, another guy. We got a chance to work a little bit throughout the off season, and when we're talking about dedication, hard worker, always showing up early, asking a lot of questions. He's one of those guys. He's just a grinder. But the other thing with Miller, I want to give him some credit. Obviously, it was still early in the game, but you can see he's nice and calm. He's making good pitches. He's staying with his game plan. And I know he speaks a lot with Sammy about game plans. I believe they play together, and he's got some mentorship there where it's just awesome to have some of these veterans, a guy like Sammy. Obviously, there's so many more guys here with a lot of knowledge. And they're able to just tap into that, And it doesn't even matter if they have a bad outing, if they have a good outing. There's always something to learn and to take some from that, to just improve, to keep improving. Because these guys here, they're not going to make the big leagues tomorrow. It's about to keep getting information, keep getting better, and keep continuing to build.
Runner breaks, fouled off. Once again, talk about Miller Bell and his game plan, and he has stuck to it. He's in the strike zone, expanding the zone with 2 strikes, utilizing his defense, and not trying to do everything and overpower, but just really pitching down in the strike zone and forcing these guys to swing the bat. But it's a really interesting point. It's baseball is about the constant learning and taking in information, and I don't think people realize there's repetitions of ground balls and hitting, but then there's a lot of baseball sharing. Good pitch. That'll be the 3rd strike and the 3rd out of the inning, and that's another Skyfleet Hino strikeout. So after the top of the 2 complete innings of play, Bandits 0, Team Australia 0.
The Hino 300 series set the safety benchmark with Hino SmartSafe. Built for safety, ready for anything. That's another Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we speak your language.
Over the past 4 seasons, we've had new players, new rules, new stadiums, and new teams. But one thing has stayed the same: Brett Sports, the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.
Welcome back to Vidicon Stadium. We are now in the top of the 3rd. We have a tie ball game, so at this stage it has ball's hit deep to center field. Soupy Campbell able to get on it and run that down, and Soupy does what he does, and that's out number 1 on a very hard hit ball.
That's a nice swing right there. That's a nice catch. That's a good pitch. That's when you
I just saw the young hitter. I believe that was Brad Griffin with the hard hit ball to center field. And as I said, these guys are enjoying this experience and the fact they're taking on Australian Baseball League team, which is obviously the apex in Australia. And to barrel something up like that, it's got to be a good feeling. And that's what we talk about veterans, you know, a little bit of a wrinkle to open him up just to give him a different look. And all of a sudden a fastball in the outer half looks like it's 95. So that's just what a veteran will do on the mound, is just he'll pitch, not throw. Good pitch, good location. Once again, working the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's good to see too, Jeremy. Obviously, last week we had a tougher day, and it's good to see him come out today, get back on his game plan, and just compete.
Ball hit foul. Once again, Atkinson continues to pepper the strike zone, and it's good to see. I mean, it's always a question mark: is how is this matchup going to be? And it just shows, these athletes have the ability to step up at a higher level, and that's what you have to do at the international level, because the playing field's so deep as far as in talent across when you look at the global side, particularly in the Asias and in the U.S. and Latin countries as well. And that's something you would have experienced although you played at a major league level with Cincinnati, even at the international level, people don't realize how much talent depth there is globally. Another pitch. Another strikeout, and that's out number 2, and that'll be another Skyfleet Hino strikeout for Jeremy Atkins.
I'll tell you what. I used to think I'm really good until I ran into the first European Championships or World Cups, and I got exposed, and I was like, oof, okay, there's a lot more good players out there.
That'll bring Brad Griffin to the plate for Team Australia with 2 outs here in the third. Ball hit sharply down the line. That'll be fair. He will leg that out, and it looks like he'll have a stand-up double. And once again, Team Australia threatens here in the third with 2 outs and a man on second base. Good job of hitting right there. And then once again, and that's that whole player read, and you would understand this, is when you know a guy is consistently getting ahead in the count with the first pitch strike, you tend to then be more aggressive knowing that he's going to be in the strike zone.
Yeah, here's Luke Smith. He's been exciting to watch too. He's made some nice plays. He's taken some swings. Oh, an appeal at first.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a tricky route on that out of the batter's box, but he did touch the bag, and they're just making the appeal that he missed first base. But good job by first base umpire to pick that up. It's ruled safe, so threat stays alive with a man on second base here in the third inning and 2 outs. Here's a young athlete. I've got a chance to see him, and I know he's shortstop, versatile type guy, but you've got a chance to see this young player play a little bit. And, what are your thoughts? And, I guess obviously he's a guy that just needs more at bats, and he needs just a program that's going to really push him to the next level.
Yeah, he's obviously really aggressive at the plate. I know on defense too, he's been all over the infield. He's making a lot of plays, making some exciting plays, and it's, like I say, he's another good young man to watch. And
runner breaks, ball's hit sharply. That'll fall, and that'll score the first run for Team Australia. And once again, Luke Smith comes out with a 2-out RBI, which is always good to see, but taking advantage of a pitch up in the strike zone, able to drive it into left field for a single in the first run of the game. Team Australia now lead 1-0 here in the third. And like you mentioned, that these young players, they want to be challenged at the next level. They want to be able to showcase, and really the only way is to be in events like this, and that's what's so good about this showcase and this event. It gives them exposure to at least grow as a baseball player.
Yeah, you got to embrace the challenge. I remember when I was 14, I wanted to play with the grown-ups because I knew that would take my game to the next level. It's just if you're exposed against better competition, you got to learn how to deal with failure, but you also got to stay positive and just keep going.
2 balls and no strikes, and once again another dangerous hitter and young prospect in Solomon McGuire for Team Australia, hitting in the 2-hole today. Ooh, a little bit of a lane got him. Ooh, it looks like Natal's bobbled the ball. Ooh, and just able to get under the tag. And once again, Team Australia have a threat with a man on second base. Able to get him in the rundown, but just the lack of transfer from Natal was able to get him to dive under the tag of Splitter. So now Team Australia is under threat. Will threaten the Bandits again.
See, this one of situations here too. I'd like to see what he does now. As a pitcher, is he just going to challenge him? It's 2-0, or is he going to be like, hey, maybe I like the matchup better. Who's on deck? A little right-handed hitter. So let's see what it comes with here.
Good pitch. Once again, like you talked about there, and that's where the gamesmanship comes up, and that's why I talk about the next level. Got a good pitch to hit in a hitting count, where normally you'd have a lefty-righty matchup with a righty on deck. You might see maybe a backdoor slider.
If it's later in the game, if they got this guy circled in as, hey, do not let this guy beat you, they're like, hey, give him the free pass or he'll get himself out.
Ball hit softly to first base, and Tull's able to field it, and out number 3. So after a base hit by Luke Smith into left field, Team Australia lead after the top of the third, 1-0.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you, Archer!
Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
Welcome back to Vidicon Stadium. We are in the bottom of the third inning with Team Australia actually leading 1-0 against your Brisbane Bandits. On the mound has been, we actually mentioned his name earlier, Miller Bell, who's actually been outstanding from Team Australia, just really consistent in the strike zone, really forcing Bandits to put the ball in play, and great defense by Team Australia so far. Leading off for your Brisbane Bandits once again will be Andrew Soupy Campbell. Ball hit sharply. First baseman comes up with a big play right there. That'll be out number one. It's Clayton Campbell at first base from the transition from third base last night, and good pickup by the young man at first. I mentioned Campbell earlier. Got a chance to see him in Lismore as a little leaguer, and just see him evolve as a player and now becoming a potential impact player for Team Australia in the future.
Jacob Nielsen at the plate. I know these two. I think they've been working out together all off season, so I'm not sure if there's been some smack talking going on, but
Ball down in his zone for strike number one. And that's always a good. A lot of times you forget that teammates also potentially could compete against each other,
yeah.
and then it gives someone bragging rights.
yeah, I was speaking to Sammy the other day about 3-0 pitches, and he said his roommate once took him way back on a 3-0 pitch, and that was the moment he learned to not just lay in cookies 3-0. So it's always
Ball up. It'll move the count to 2-2 with one out here in the third. Once again, we talked about last night's game and the scoreline. If you take away the walks, there were 11 walks last night by Team Australia, and obviously Bandits did capitalize on that opportunity, but a really tight matchup between these two sides. Good pitch. Looks like he's off-speed pitch right there. You've seen him, so is it a splitty or a changeup that he normally throws?
throws a changeup, throws a slider, works down in the zone, elevates if he needs to.
Ball hit sharply down the line that gets past the third baseman. Jacob Nielsen will stay at first base, and at this stage he will have bragging rights against his training buddy Miller Bell. Good effort by the third baseman, just not able to come up on the sharp hit ball by Nielsen. That'll bring another dangerous hitter to the plate in Dermot Fritz. We talked about him in length, his last at bat, what he means to this club, and really, you look at it, you always need that new spark, and he's probably been someone that's come in and provide a little bit of spark for this lineup.
For sure. Like I said, anytime you got someone who gives you quality at bats on a consistent base, man, that goes well. It's a good man too. Uh-oh.
Ball hits softly to third base, comes up, field. That'll be out number two. They're playing. 2 outs, able to beat it out. Dermot's first to stay out of the double play. Once again, Miller Bell continues to pitch the soft contact. Hasn't been in threat. Dermot expanding his secondary at first base as he was going to challenge the young catcher behind the plate. Once again, another young talent coming through the Bandits Futures program, and a guy that has physical abilities to potentially be an impact player for the Bandits. And once again, it probably comes down to more at-bats and opportunity, obviously, to sit and talk to you about game plans and approaches, as opposed to just using physical, just starting to use some of the mental side of the game as well.
Yeah, he's come a long way already. You can see his good jump.
Big jump right there, and that'll be no contest on a throw. And that's just really stealing not only the catcher, but just reading the pitcher and putting himself into scoring position, giving the Bandits an opportunity to potentially tie this game on a base hit.
Yeah, we got a 3-0 count, obviously, in this situation. I'd like him to swing the bat. And let's see if he gets a good pitch, obviously. But no, he's worked really hard. You can see his at-bats are getting better and better on a daily basis.
Pitch up in the zone, that'll be ball 4. So great at-bat by Natal. Threat still alive for the Brisbane Bandits. They are down here in the 3rd inning, 1-0 against Team Australia's 19U. Once again, another at-bat and another opportunity for Rory Spletter, playing shortstop for the Bandits today. Pitch just out of the strike zone. Once again, Miller hasn't really been threatened today, so it enables him to now reach down. And that's one thing is when your efficiencies are down and you haven't had to have high workloads, this allows you to step up to next level now with runner at second base and a threat in scoring position. Again, pitch out of the zone. That's where you kind of look. You know, you said, coming back and pitch counts come in and workloads, and sometimes you can see where the fatigue potentially could come in. So even though we're in the 3rd inning, there's still a level of pitching fatigue, and now he's got to work a little bit harder.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to stay away. Obviously, you don't want to give him a cookie there, 0-0-0-1.
Ball get by the catcher. Allow both runners to advance. So now man on 2nd and 3rd, and base hit potentially could score 2 with a left-hander, Sam Campion, on deck. So once again, 3-0 count. You talk about, green light. Will David Nielsen provide green light? And this is where young hitters have to also understand not trying to do too much in these situations, staying within yourself, staying gap to gap, and not getting too big.
Yeah, I felt like, based on my experience, it was a thing where I was young. I always thought, okay, 3-0, if you swing, you have to hit a homer. But it's...
Ball hit hard to right field, so he did have a 3-low green light. He drives the ball deep. And that'll
well, that goes against my philosophies. I was going to say, it's about putting your A swing on a good pitch. And but as you see, he's ready. He was ready to hit, gets a good pitch, puts a good swing on it. There you go, a 3-run Opo Taco.
And that is a Jets Marumba Downs home run by that young hitter right there. We'll get a chance to see the replay. He got a 3-0 count. Got something up in the zone, and talked about barreling the baseball, staying through it. A lot of times, a lot of guys will get around the baseball, able to stay through it, and he drives it out to right field, and now making this ball game 3-1 now in favor of the Bandits. Ball hit sharply into center field by Sam Campion, and that will be out number 3. But not without the 3-run shot by Rory Spletter. Bandits complete 3, now leading 3-1.
The Hino 300 series set the safety benchmark with Hino SmartSafe. Built for safety, ready for anything. That's another Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law Associates, we speak your language.
Over the past 4 seasons, we've had new players, new rules, new stadiums and new teams. But one thing has stayed the same: Brett Sports, the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.
Welcome back, Bandits fans. We are now in the top of the 4th inning. Bandits jump to a 3-run lead on the 3-0 go-ahead swing by Rory Splitter, driving the ball over right field wall, putting pressure on Team Australia. And on the mound, and still on the mound doing a great job tonight, has been Jeremy Atkinson, really being efficient. Only conceded the 1 run, but really pounding the strike zone and forcing Team Australia to barrel up the baseball. Stepping to the plate will be Clayton Campbell for Team Australia. We talked about, the 3-0 counts and staying within yourself, and once again, young hitter getting the green light by the Bandits team manager and doing exactly what David Niels would want, and that's driving the baseball, finding a gap, and he's able to drive it over the right field wall. Not as easy as we think. You're thinking, I'm going to get a strike, but he stayed within himself.
Yeah, no, and I feel like it's something a young hitter has to learn to stay calm in that moment and stick to a game plan.
It's a really good point. You mentioned game plan, and if you could elaborate a little bit more, because a lot of people go, well, what does he mean by game plan? But there's, like, whether you're on the mound or you're at the plate, you should have a plan.
Yeah, it starts with, I feel like as a hitter, it starts with knowing what pitch you can handle. Alrighty, which part of the zone do you like? Do you like the ball middle in? Do you like the ball middle away? Usually every hitter likes the ball down the middle, but you're not going to get five pitches down the middle all the time. So you stick to your plan. That's meaning you walk up to the plate with an approach, and you stick to that approach. And approaches can look different from hitter to hitter. Some people's approach is to drive the ball the other way. Some people's approach is, I know you've talked about trying to hit a line drive right at the pitcher. Whatever helps you, and then, like I said, it's a longer thing you have to develop over a lot of at-bats, which then helps you to get in a good hitting position consistently.
Ball inside Campbell, and he's able to draw the walk. So with a man on first base and nobody out here in the 4th, that'll bring to the plate Jamie Foxx.
Obviously, when you go into the professional baseball, they have scouting reports, they have hot zones, they have all those technology now to back everything up. So they might be able to tell you, hey, in those counts, pitcher really likes to work that part of the zone. Or a hitter, hey, these zones here, try to stay away from those. And it's all backed up by data. So it's a really cool thing when you can combine those with your physical abilities of then coming up with a game plan which works.
I think that's what's really evolved in the game is the data and the analytics to support. And obviously, game is about percentage. And if you can increase the percentage of success, you're gonna go with the percentages. Good pitch, good location. Atkinson's just a little bit out of the zone, and we talked about he was very efficient in the zone. And what can get you in trouble, particularly in this ballpark, is pitching behind the count and walks. He's done a good job up into the 4th. Can he continue to put the pressure on Team Australia? Good pitch, good location. Strike 2, even the count at 2-2. Swing and a miss on a called strike 3, and that's another Skyfleet Hino strikeout for Jeremy Atkins, and out number 1. And good job by Atkinson right there, elevating the fastball up in the zone. And we talked about when you can expand the strike zone and just using his veteran presence on the mound. Ball hit sharply into left field. It's young Nicholas Chappell. That's an easy play for Sam Campion for out number 2. But once again, just forcing the guys, put the barrel, utilizing his defense. He knows he's got quality defense behind him, and just really trusting himself. And that's really what veteran arm do. I know you've played at high levels, played Cincinnati Reds, and you've seen crafty veterans that utilize their defense, and you've seen flamethrowers, and doesn't make one right or wrong, but each one has that game plan that you mentioned.
Yeah, it's obviously it's about figuring out what your strength is, figuring out what your ball does, and then you try to pitch to your strengths. I can't go too deep, even though I've thrown an inning in the ABL. But no, it's what I really like is that you never stop learning, and you always take something from every day. Like even let's say last night I went home, I looked at some of my bats, and I'm still trying to figure stuff out. I'm still trying to get better. I'm still trying to.
Ball hit sharply, and a base hit by Nick Hawkins, and just out of the reach. And Sam Campion overplayed that ball, which allows Campbell to advance to third. So now Team Australia threatens again with 2 outs, men on first and third on the base hit to left field by Nick Hawkins. That'll bring Kane McClellan to the plate. He has a threat with man on first and third, and once again an opportunity for Team Australia to chip away at that 3-run lead here in the 4th. And these are things we talked about with Atherton yesterday, is you can't simulate these situations for hitters, so the more you can put them in them to build, once again, your game plan for success, then you can take that and that knowledge base and take that to the next level, whether it be another tournament or an international event. But that's the only way you can have success at this level, is you have to be in the situation. Ball down, so he finds himself in a 2-0 count and a hitting count. And once again, it's about staying within yourself, as you mentioned, and not trying to do too much in hitting counts.
Yeah, let's say it like this, it helped me a lot when I was young to realize, hey, instead of trying to drive both of these runs in, let's worry about one.
Ball hits softly into right center field. That may fall in front of the right fielder. Oh, and he comes up with a big league catch. That will be out number 3. So the threat does no longer stay alive. After the top of the 4th, Bandits lead 3-1.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you,
Archer! Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
Welcome back, Bandits fans. We are now in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bandits still lead 3-1 against Team Australia. And Team Australia has made a pitching change. This will be an ace communication call to the bullpen. On the mound will be left-handed arm Hayden Snell. And he'll be facing veteran Ryan Battaglia at the plate. Ball's hit deep and sharp to center field. Center field's able to see if he can make a beat on the ball, able to track that down. That'll be a big out, and big out number 1. That's one thing I noticed. I mean, I've watched a lot of ball games here, and yesterday was a few balls I thought were juiced and had the chance to get out, and they didn't even get to the warning track. So maybe it's a heavier air with the weather. But,
yeah, I know yesterday there was a couple balls touched, and I remember there was a little breeze coming in, and I think sometimes we get carried away with some of those Sunday day games here where the ball obviously jumps a lot, and no, but there was still a good swing even by Booth there, staying through the middle. You know, he's got tendencies sometimes.
At the plate, Liam O'Hay made a fantastic catch to end top of the 4th in right field, save the Bandits for at least 1 run. Comes up for his second at bat of the game. And like you mentioned, we have been spoiled here. We've seen some monster home runs, to say the least. I think last weekend, Wingrove from Adelaide hit some that are still traveling. And but it's fun to see. I mean, I know I've watched you hit some on top of that house, if not over the house, but it is still, I don't think people realize how big a hit those are.
Yeah, but it's good, you know. And I know some people have criticized the ballpark, but I'm like, you know, everybody comes here and hits here as well.
Absolutely.
You know, but even here, it's good with Liam here. He made a nice play. And I remember as a young guy, whenever you make a nice play on defense, it's like, yes, you know, you feel good. Now, if he can get himself a knock or have a couple good at-bats, I know it's a really good feeling, especially first time you get to represent.
Yeah, and even with Team Australia, they look at that and they go, look, if that ball falls, all of a sudden now we're at 3-2 game with men on first and third, you know, and all of a sudden changes. Once again, good at-bat by O'Hay and draws the walk with 1 out. That'll bring to the plate for his second at-bat, Jordan Thompson. And we talk about, we look at a lot of the makeup of Team Australia. A lot of these young men are either in professional baseball or they're committed to college. He's a young man. Jordan Thompson got a chance to go to the U.S., play in the college systems. Now he's back. I know he's been part of the Bandits Futures program, part of the development in the academy program. And it's just great to have him come back and share that IP that he's brought back from the U.S., and obviously catching is such a specialized field, it's always hard to find that depth of knowledge at the catcher, and he's worked with you in the academy program, delivering some programs as well.
Yeah, no, he's definitely he's got a lot of knowledge, and it's I appreciate anyone who's willing to share stuff with the youth, because that's the only way. Obviously, we're on a mission here to continue to grow the game of baseball, and it's a big part of it is just people have to share their experiences, because obviously your physical work and stuff, your motivations, that's something young kids have to figure out themselves. But at the end of the day, when people share experiences and things to simplify the game, it goes a long way.
That's something Atherton mentioned about you, is your professionalism. You know, whether you got a hit or you've struck out or hit a ball hard for an out, you put your bat away the same way, you put your helmet away, and you show the constant professional. And I just said that's such a great influence for our young athletes, because a lot of times they'll see the opposite and they're breaking bats and they go, well, that's the trend. Once I make it, I can. Mm-hmm. You just showed a professional demeanor that's really helping the next generation have success.
Well, that's something I learned early on too, because obviously it's not the bat's fault, it's not your helmet's fault if something doesn't go well. But I remember when I went over to the States, first thing I saw in the locker room was a big sign with "Respect the game," and I took that really to heart.
Ball hit to right field, and that's out number 2. And I do agree with you 100%. I know that's one thing you advocate heavily in the academy program. We talk to the parents and all the athletes, and it's not just the work and the work ethics, it's also about the attitude and the respect for the game, the coaches, the field, the umpires. It's the whole game, and as a person, we're trying to complete good individuals, not just baseball players.
Yeah, it's really important. Here's another leader, Andrew Soupy Campbell.
Good jump by O'Hay, and that'll allow him to easily steal, and that was completely off the pitcher, and just good pickup and good read. And now against a very dangerous left-handed hitter against a left-handed pitcher, Bandit's threat continues. Good pitch, good location. And this is where you will see, even though you've got a veteran on at the plate, when you've got the lefty-lefty matchup, you might pitch, like you said, maybe not as tentative. If it was a righty-lefty matchup, he'll probably still pitch, but he'll still go at the hitter, knowing he's got a dangerous hitter in Jacob Nielsen on deck.
Yeah, there's sometimes where the catchers, like I said, it's what they came up with in the game plan before the game. And obviously he knows he's dangerous, so you can see he's not just like let me just try to throw a strike here. He's trying to pitch with intent. He's trying to stay away that's what it looks like. And we'll find out here if he wants to challenge him or if he's like, let me go after the guy on deck and go around him a little bit.
Just down and away, but he obviously got a game plan, obviously keeping the ball down and away against Soupy Campbell. The infield is playing a power shift, so shortstop's currently on the right side of the base at second base. Second baseman is playing a shallow right field. First baseman playing against the cut. Ball in, and that's a walk for Soupy Campbell. Another quality at bat, and once again it gives Brisbane Bandits another opportunity with men on first and second and 2 outs here in the fourth, leading 3-1, with Jacob Nielsen at the plate.
Got a pinch runner too. We got Tyson Somora coming in for Andrew Campbell. Looks like his day is done.
That's a very veteran move. 2 at bats and Sid. I remember back in the day when Tony Gwynn was still playing in Alive, and he was about 2 hits and then give him a rest. He's shown he's not a human. Just we don't want him to get 4 hits today. Let's shut him down after 2. I will go ahead and promote this is a 7-inning game. We have a doubleheader with a 6 p.m. start for Game 2. We're Atherton will be throwing against Team Australia, which will be interesting. These young men will get a chance to see the captain of Australia baseball, and obviously everyone knows about his reputation. He's a gamer. He's been a lot of big games, both internationally and in the Australian Baseball League. So we get a chance for a lot of these young hitters to face one of the best pitchers in the country.
Yeah, and even for the young arms, I mean, whoever gets a chance to watch him, you can see he's a
pitch,
different
soft
beast.
hit ball. Third baseman comes up, makes a clean play, tough play, and a good pickup by Campbell at first base. And that'll be out number 3. So after 4 complete innings of play, Bandits lead 3-1.
The Hino 300 series set the safety benchmark with Hino SmartSafe. Built for safety, ready for anything. That's another Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we speak your language.
Over the past 4 seasons, we've had new players, new rules, new stadiums, and new teams. But one thing has stayed the same: Brett Sports, the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.
Welcome back, Bandits fans. We are now in the top of the 5th inning. Bandits lead against Team Australia 19U 3-1. It's actually been a pretty good pitching matchup. Both sides have done a really good job of really eliminating the threat.
Find the fence! Find the fence!
Like that ball may stay in. Jacob Nielsen finds the fence, and that'll be out number 1.
Mm-hmm. So even there, when we're talking about catchers, you can see Jordan Thompson coming over to the foul line because he has a better angle to communicate to him, to let him know if there's room or not. Those are some of the little things which we're looking forward to. I always talk about everyone has a task list of little things to do, and it's really important important to communicate and to help each other out. Also, talking about Atho, I know I got cut off last inning. I want these young kids to see him in action, because you can see mentally he's a beast. When he locks it in, that's something. I think when these young guys see it, that's where you want to get to. You know, it's
good pitch, good strike, and that's strikeout. That'll be out number 2, and that's another Skyfleet Hino strikeout for Jeremy Atkins in the Brisbane Bandits for out number 2. And it's funny you mentioned that. He mentioned last night, and I actually got goosebumps when he talked about it. He talked about he's about to start. He had to start against Team Japan and against the Samurais. 55,000 was going crazy, and Ryan Rowland-Smith came up behind him when he was on the first step and said, you know, make yourself big. He said the Japanese don't like. And he said it was such a good saying for him, because he actually said he got on the mound, expanded his chest, and really felt big and a presence. And I don't think he's lost that presence since that day. And when he does take up the mound, it is a presence. It's an intimidating presence. And the one thing I've always watched and loved about him, he comes at you. There's no trickery. It's you're going to hit my best stuff, and if you beat me, I tip my hat, and if my job's to beat you, and I'm going to go out with my A game.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's why he's been very successful, because he has that bulldog mentality of, here's my best stuff, go get it. I actually faced him the last time, I think the very first time, 2 or 3 weeks ago when we had our exhibition series.
How did that go?
And I understood. I understood way more than that.
No, how'd that go?
Yeah.
Ball hit up the middle, and that's a base hit for Australia. Once again, quality at bat. That was Luke Smith once again, and we talked about just doing little things, and Luke continues to just do the little things. And he's an athlete I see that would really benefit from a collegiate program where, big jump. Once again, reading the game, putting pressure, and he just does little things right. He's very aggressive. He makes the routine plays. He's got a little bit of flash, puts the ball in play, understands the game really well as far as his knowledge base. And I think the only thing that's going to help him expand that is more game time and just, building physically as well to compete at a higher level. Big swing, big miss by Solomon Maguire. And another, when you look at player makeup, and I know speaking to Glenn Williams, he's with the Pirates organization, this is the guy they have in the radar as far as he's a four-tool guy, really, with the ability to expand. He runs well, good arm, reads the game well, and just a matter of just really refining the craft with the bat. And as soon as he can do that, he's got a high ceiling as far as a young athlete.
Yeah, and it's always exciting when young kids get a chance to go to the States and actually be exposed to good competition baseball on a daily basis. That's where you really see guys take it to the next level, because it just makes you better.
Good swing right there, just able to foul it off, keeping the bat alive. Now 2-2 with 2 outs. A man at second base. Once again, Team Australia have put on a really good show. It's great to see the talent depth, and when we talk about the future of the game, and mention this to both Atherton and to Glenn Williams, is, there's look at some of the ceiling potential of some of these athletes. It really means the game is in good hands with a good future. Good pitch. That'll be out number 3, and that's another Skyfleet strikeout, and that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. So after top of the 5th, Bandits lead 3-1.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you, Archer!
Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
Welcome back to Vidicon Stadium. We're in game one of a doubleheader. Second game will be a 6 p.m. start where Team Australia captain and Bandits ace Tim Atherton will be starting for the Bandits. Team Australia have made a pitching change, and this will be an ace communication pitching change. This is George Cooper for Team Australia. I think, and I do apologize again, failed to mention the two managers for the team we've got for Team Australia 19U is Shane Watson, and obviously in the dugout for the Brisbane Bandits, and also Team Australia head coach David Nielsen. Cooper's got a good live arm, and this one we talk about so far, guys have been down in the zone and not trying to do too much, and this is where sometimes the stage will get you, and a lot of times high balls up in the zone, or just the nerves and the anxiety of this stage. Good pitch, good location, even the count at 1-1.
Yeah, the good thing is there's always something to learn from. You know, you might go back home, be like, hey, next time maybe just take a little deep breath. Take a little deep breath, and then your stuff will play better. But you got to be exposed to it. You got to be exposed to it, and then it doesn't matter at what level. Even if we're talking at the big level, if we're talking at the ABL level, international stage.
Ball hit up in the air. Third baseman looks like he will call everyone out, and that's a tough play. That'll be out number 1.
The first time I played against Taiwan in the World Cup, I think I let 2 fly balls drop between me and my brother who was playing center field, because I was like, I couldn't hear a word. You know, that's where I learned, hey, sometimes you got to use your arms.
That's it. Ball hit sharp in the center field by Franco Natali. The ball is carrying. Once again, we talked about this young man's physical talent. It just shows how strong he is. He's able to drive the ball deep into right field, and that is a Jets Marumba Downs home run. Once again, when you talk about physical talent in this young man and able to barrel it up and get to see the replay there, just shows how strong he is. He drives the ball to a deep part of the ballpark, and that ball got out pretty good.
Yeah, that's a nice swing. Stayed inside of it in a nice short compact swing. Ball up in his zone.
And this is the man that did the damage in the third with a 3-0 green light by manager David Nielsen, able to drive the ball over the right field wall for a 3-run shot on a 3-0 count. Bandits do lead 4-1. This is a 7-inning ball game, first game of a doubleheader. Second game will start at 6 p.m. So I'll lose you after game 1. You're obviously in the lineup for game 2. Has the big man given you where you're hitting in the lineup?
I believe in a 2-hole. I believe.
You're the get him over guy. You're the get him over guy.
Yeah. No, I'll be at first base. I usually check the lineup when I walk out the clubhouse. Like as long as I see my name somewhat penciled in there, like mentally, I'll get prepared, and I'm like, okay, let's go. And then for me, honestly, it doesn't matter. Like I love being on lineup. It doesn't matter if it's leading off 2-hole, 3-hole, 4-hole.
Ball
Another
hit
good
sharply
swing.
in the right field. The ball will carry. Oh, and off the flagpole, and that's his second hit and second home run of the day. Now making it 5-1, and that's another Jets Marumba Downs home run by Rory Splitter. So somebody came out here and said he's ready to put on a show for manager David Nilsson. Said, I'm ready to play shortstop every day. Ball driven, get a chance to see the replay right there. Carried deep and off the flagpole. I think he likes that right center gap. That's a long-term game plan approach when we talk about game plan approaches at the plate.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Bring another young hitter to the plate in Sam Campion. Came through the Baseball Queensland program. Now get a chance through the Bandits Futures program to continue to develop his tools and his craft. Big swing and a miss. Another swing and a miss for strike two. Turned out to a gorgeous day today. A lot of times last weekend we did play the Adelaide Giants here, and it was a scorcher. I felt for you guys as I sat in the air-conditioned box calling the game, ball up in the zone. But it did put on a good show. It was a good show.
Yeah, everyone had a great time. I remember there's a lot of energy in the ballpark. People were really excited, obviously, to come down here and enjoy some Bandits baseball. So I think it was a successful series. I know that everyone worked really hard behind the scenes, which no one sees, and a lot of people. there's always a lot of stuff going on, and I think everything came out pretty good. Oh, that's a foul ball on top of our little house here.
And you're right, it's behind the scenes, and I know the grounds crew and the team did an amazing job of preparing the fields, and they're in immaculate condition again this weekend. It's so important, these guys, you're performing on the biggest stage. Good pitch, good location. Can't be able to lay off the off-speed pitch now, moving the count to full. But it's the little things you talk about, the preparation, the dragging the field, how they mow it. It just changes the energy as a player when everything's set up for the show. Once again, able to draw the walk, quality at bat by Sam Campion here in the fifth. That'll bring another threat to the plate, and once again, now veteran. And I remember in the early 2010-11 when the league relaunched, this young man was on the other side of the spectrum. He was the emerging athletes, and now he's one of the clubhouse leaders. 4 championships later, and a couple Team Australia representations. He's had a good career and continues to provide a lot of value to the Bandits organization. Pitch just fouled off by Battaglia. Once again, if you're just tuning in, Bandits lead Team Australia 19U 5-1 here in the 5th inning. This is a 7-inning ball game. First game of the doubleheader. Game 2 will be played at 6 o'clock. That too will be streamed on Bandits TV. It'll feature Team Australia captain and Bandits ace Timmy Atherton. Ball's hit sharply at the shortstop, able to come up. Good feed to first base. He doubles up to get himself out of the inning. So after 5 complete innings of play, Bandits lead 5-1.
The Hino 300 series set the safety benchmark with Hino SmartSafe. Built for safety, ready for anything. That's another Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we speak your language.
Over the past 4 seasons, we've had new players, new rules, new stadiums, and new teams. But one thing has stayed the same: Brett Sports, the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.
Welcome back to Vidicon Stadium. We are now in the top of the 6th inning of a 7-inning ball game of this twin bill. Bandits lead 5-1 on the mound for the Brisbane Bandits, and an ace call to the bullpen pitching change will be Connor Laverty, right-handed arm for the Bandits.
Yeah, he's futures fastball, splitty. He's one of the guys. He actually throws a good split finger. He got me on it a couple times this year, and he's one of the guys. Same thing. He's a competitor. He pitches deep into the games. Obviously, here he's in the pen. Everyone has a certain role with the Bandits, and it'll be good to watch him.
And that's the thing that manager David Nielsen done really well over the last really 8 years plus. You know, it's just his ability to manage his bullpen and then put guys in situations to have success. And you know, he's been a master of that. Is working that bullpen to get his recipe to be able to close out ball games. Big swing and a miss. Foul ball, excuse me, by Clayton Campbell. Once again, we are in game 1 of this twin bill. The second game will start at 6 p.m. Ooh, foul ball. Just missed that pitch. Once again, another young athlete you can see at the plate. You look at his physical makeup, and he hasn't really gotten, we talk about his man body yet, but you can see he's got a lot of growth still to go and fill out, and he's going to be a threat in the near future.
Yeah, he's one of the guys. He got a hold of the ball yesterday. He hit one pretty well. The wind did catch it, but
ball hit sharp in the right field. See if that ball will carry. Not able to carry, and O'Hay will get under it, and that will be out number 1. So we do know the ball is carrying the right, so you can get it out of here. I was wondering if this field lost its mojo, and obviously it hasn't. And the ball's still carrying. We saw Natali shoot one to right, and Splitters actually hit 2 to right field.
Yeah, it's good to see those guys that take some nice swings, square the ball up, and drive it the other way, because it's not an easy thing to do, let me tell you.
Ball's fouled off by Jamie Fox. Fox is currently 0 for 2 for the day. Team Australia has 4 hits, 1 RBI, and 8 strikeouts. The line on the Bandits: 6 hits, 5 runs, and 2 punch-outs. Good pitch down in the zone. Talk about right there that split finger, just to give him a different look. And even in his grip, you know, he holds a change or split grip when he's in the stretch.
Yeah, he holds it all the time. Actually, I'm not sure if Timsy did the same. But
good pitch. Once again, that split finger and able to freeze the header, and that's the second out. That's another Skyfleet Hino strikeout for out number 2.
Lachlan Roberts here at the dish.
I do apologize. Nicholas Chappell, Lachlan Roberts did pinch hit for him last at bat. So Lachlan Roberts, this is his second at bat of the game. Pitch up in the zone, strike 1. And once again, you talk about just working ahead in the count when guys, particularly when they have the out pitch being the splitty, it's so important for them to get ahead in the count to be able to give you that look. Good location there as well.
Mm-hmm. Robbie's one of the other young guys. He's from Queensland. He's been working hard. Obviously, like all these guys, whoever's down there wearing that uni has been working hard. But he has the ability to get the barrel to the ball and gives you good at bats. Same thing with Nick Hawkins on deck. He had a really good series when we played the first showcase series here when he played for the Bandits, and it's good to see all these young guys coming through and just put
pitch, good eye,
putting good IBs and good swings together. And yeah, it's exciting. It excites me because I love good swings. I love good baseball. Everyone loves that, obviously, but it's good stuff.
Ball hit sharply to the left side. Rory's able to glove it and comes up with a throw, but not in time. So once again, they'll have to probably score that as a hit. That's a tough play for a splitter. I think if even it comes up clean, once again able to put barrel on baseball and leg out a hit. So with 2 outs and a man on first base, that'll bring to the plate Nick Hawkins. Foul ball off the toe, called early. Home plate umpire Mick Cummings. Mick doing the right thing right there, just giving the young hitter just a little breather after the ball off either the foot or the ankle, allowing him to recover to continue the at bat. Good block by Jordan Thompson behind the plate. Give him a fresh pearl. Count moves to 1-1. Pretty good turnout today. Not a massive crowd. We're probably expecting a lot bigger numbers with the cooler weather. Still had a good showing today for game 1 of this twin bill. Good pitch, good location for strike 2. And I do agree with you, Donald. You mentioned this.
Have a look in the bullpen.
Ball hit sharply to center field. Tyson Zamora cleanly catches that. That's out number 3. That'll finish the top of the 6th inning with Bandits leading 5-1.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you, Archer!
Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
Welcome back to Vidicon Stadium, where your Brisbane Bandits are taking on Team Australia 19U. It's been a good ball game. We are in the 6th inning of a 7-inning ball game. Bandits do lead 5-1. Big story of the day, Rory Splitter, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, and Franco Natale with a solo shot to right as well. Team Australia have brought in a new pitcher. It'll be an Ace Communications call to the bullpen. It'll be Tyrone Fergie for Team Australia. Ball down in the zone to O'Hay. A little bit of shower coming in. Hopefully this will pass. Just quickly check the bomb. I think it's going to be hit or miss. We had big rains on Thursday night. Put a bit of fear in the administration team and the staff, obviously, with all the preparations and that goes into each series. The last thing you want to do is you can't control that variable, but actually the field has come up a treat. Once again, credit to the grounds team here. Done a brilliant job with their preparations, and hopefully that'll pass and we'll have sunshine and get ready for game 2. That'll kick off at 6 p.m. and obviously if there's any delays, we'll announce any delays online. But that'll be another 7-inning ball game.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how much work goes into keeping a field nice and playable, especially when there's rain in the area over the last few days. It's always a scary moment, and it takes a lot of work to get it nice. But it looks beautiful.
Ball hits softly to second base, able to come up clean on a tough play. Able to get O'Hay getting down the line fairly well for out number 1. Once again, like I said, it's been good to see different game plan. Obviously, manager Shane Watson and his coaching staff able to chat to his players, settle some of those first game nerves. And obviously there would have been a lot of nerves with the energy, good crowd playing against the big boys, and a lot more settled today, and really just been a couple of mistakes by the pitching, but they played good baseball here.
Yeah, even mistakes. Like I said, the first one Rory hit out to right, it was a 3-0 pitch. You know, that's where you just
tip your hat.
Yeah, you tip your hat. You know, it's you don't want to just walk in. Rory takes a good swing, and you don't see too many 3-0 Alpo bombs. So it's
good pitch, good location. Strike 1, even the count at 1-1. Once again, looks like that shower has passed now, and it's clean play for these players. Wind blowing out slightly to right field. Bit of gentle breeze. We have seen the ball carry well to right field today, and a little bit tougher left field as they're hitting into the crosswind. But like I said, you've got to earn a home run on those days, and other days if you can get it up and let Mother Nature take care of everything. Ball hit left field. Will it stay fair? Third baseman covers a lot of ground and not able to come up with it.
Yeah, my hitting coach back the other day said, "My wind doesn't matter. Grown man goes through the wind." You know, that's when you see him when people have pop. They go through the wind with ease.
Yeah, well, at that level, they do. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I think people don't realize, you know, how big the athletes are at the next level. You know, as far as when you talk about the elite athletes, your Mike Trouts, your Harpers, your Miguel Cabrera's, you know, they're grown men, and the rest, they're supermen. Ball's fouled back, keeps the at bat alive. And that's interesting right now. I mean, I haven't read on MLB if they've had any settlements with the lockdown. It's still, I think, in negotiations. Hopefully they'll settle that. So spring training is knocking on the door. Normally pitchers would be reporting into camp. You'd never want to see that there'd be delays in reporting into camp. Ooh, good pitch. It's out, strikeout, and that'll be another Skyfleet Hino strikeout and out number 2. Once again, just showing a little bit of creativity right there with a third pitch. I don't have a lot of background as far as, but it looks like he's got a fairly good out pitching his off speed. So you get a chance to see a little downward action in late, so it's always tough to stay back on as a hitter. Once again, another little spark plug right here in Tyson Zamora. You've got a chance to work with him a bit, and he's been part of the Futures Academy. And you look at a guy that runs well, puts the ball in play, plays fantastic defense. So he does give David a lot of versatility moving forward in the outfield positions, particularly when he's got Soupy there as well.
Yeah, he's one thing in particular he's been really nice with his timing. He's been able to slow the game down a little bit. I think same thing for any of the young guys who came up, especially the first showcase series. You know, the game gets a little fast for you sometimes, and he's been doing a really good job of. You can see how calm it is. Like he's there's no stress. He's under control, and he's been giving us good at bats. So that's a really good thing to see out of a young hitter.
And I know you do a lot of work with a lot of young hitters. With the academy program, you run one-on-one hitting workshops, and you've also run what I would guess master classes as well, where you talk about game plans and slowing that game down. And he's one of those young students, obviously able to mentor and then get him to see him and apply it, and that's really good to see the athletes apply the theory to the prac.
Yeah, we walked over here just before the game, and we talked about, hey, hitting counts, you know, still stick with your stuff. So let's see what happens here. We got, was that 3-1 count?
3-1.
Let's see if he can stay within himself. Yeah, blowing away. He don't want that. That's good. That's good too, you know, because a lot of young guys, or anyone, sometimes 3-0, 3-1 hitter counts, it almost becomes automatic. Let me just hack at everything. And he gets a pitch he doesn't like you don't want to swing at a low on the way pitch here. That's a good sign.
Ooh, good pitch and big strike, and that'll be strikeout, and that'll be the third out. That's another Skyfleet Hino strikeout, and once again a quality pitch to close out that inning. So after 6 complete, we will go into the 7th. Bandits lead 5-1.
The Hino 300 series set the safety benchmark with Hino SmartSafe. Built for safety, ready for anything. That's another Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we speak your language.
Over the past 4 seasons, we've had new players, new rules, new stadiums, and new teams. But one thing has stayed the same: Brett Sports, the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.
We are now in the top of the 7th inning here at Vidicon Stadium, and this is game 1 of a twin bill. Second game tonight, 6 p.m. It'll be broadcast on Bandit TV. We'll share that link later in the game. Bandits lead 5-1. This is a 7-inning ball game, and on the mound is Connor Laverty, for the Brisbane Bandits.
Is that Oscar Hyde pinch hitting?
Yeah, it is Oscar Hyde. And once again, tell a story about Mr. Hyde, and got a chance to see him state titles in Cairns as a little leaguer and a dominant left-handed pitcher, and helped his team win nationals in Lismore and the Gold Coast region, and end up going to Williamsport and representing Australia in the Little League World Series. And now we get to see Hyde showing his versatility as an athlete now, swinging a bat. So once again, we talk about how quickly these athletes evolve. A couple of years ago, he's in Little League and win nationals, and he's playing in Williamsport, and now he's representing Team Australia You can see Brisbane Bandits ball hit well to left field in front of Campion. Campion not able to come up with it. Once again, Hyde, the leadoff single, and keeps the threat alive for Team Australia. Like I said, once again, shows his versatility. Dominant pitcher at the Little League level. Obviously, mastering his craft, still has a good arm, but just shows he's versatile as an athlete and comes up with a big hit for Team Australia. Lachlan Wilson, I believe, at the plate. I'll just double check that. I'm just going off Game Changer. Just do a quick. Bandits lead 5-1 here in the 7th. This is a 7-inning ball game. Team Australia trying to put runs on the board to keep this game alive. The ball's hit softly into right field.
So nice job there by Tyson, taking charge as a center fielder, calling the right fielder off, making a sure catch.
And that's the thing. You talk about just maturity, and we talk about captains on the field, and your center field is your captain. And when they call you off, you peel off, no matter even if you've got to play. And same thing on the infield, your shortstop. But it's always good to see a young player taking control, and that's exactly what your manager wants to see: is who's ready to step up as a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Right, currently, just a quick refresh again just to make sure. I've got Brad Griffin for Team Australia. He's currently 1 for 2 with a run scored. Ball's hit up in the air again. Once again, Zamora calls off the shortstop, takes control, and that'll be out number 2. And that's, again, like you talk about the future, and it's so important, particularly in your infield. You always want to be solid up the spine, and when we talk about the spine, that's your catcher, your shortstop, and your center fielder. And when you see that you've got young talent that's got speed, covers ground, it's always a positive for any manager when he knows he's got strength in the middle.
Yeah, and obviously communication plays key there as well. It's a lot of people sometimes get a little hesitant to speak up or call the ball, and it's you got to understand in certain positions you're in charge, you have to call the others off, and you got to be loud, because things change when all of a sudden you have a full stadium and you can barely hear anything.
Stepping to the plate is Luke Smith back up. He's had a big night for Team Australia. He's currently 2 for 3 with an RBI. Ball hit sharply into right center field. A lot of ground for O'Hain. Wow, good running catch, and that'll be the 3rd out. That will be the 3rd out of the game, with your Bandits winning this game 5-1. Final line for Team Australia: 1 run on 6 hits. Final line for the Brisbane Bandits: 5 runs off 6 hits. Big night tonight. Rory Splatter with 2 home runs. Franklin Natali with a solo shot. Bandits did an outstanding job on the mound, only conceding the 1 runs. Once again, this is a twin here. It's a double hitter tonight, with game 2 starting at 6 p.m. Bandits win the 2nd game of this 3-game series. I'm Paul Gonzalez. I will be signing off, and thanking to my left Donald Lutz. I look forward to seeing you all. Either come to the ball game. There are plenty of tickets and seats available for the 6 p.m. start. If you're not able to come out, please tune in to Bandits TV for plenty of baseball action. Have a good night.
The Hino 300 series set the safety benchmark with Hino SmartSafe. Built for safety, ready for anything. That's another Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we speak your language.
Over the past 4 seasons, we've had new players, new rules, new stadiums, and new teams. But one thing has stayed the same: Brett Sports, the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.